Hello, welcome to High Point Music's Gear Reviews. I'm Lewis, and in today's episode I'm going to show you the dual blue delay from Mad Professor. The dual blue delay is a double delay pedal. It features two independent delay circuits based on their deep blue delay, and you can set them for both a short and a long time and do some cool modes mixing between them. So I'm going to show you some of the dual mode, which is a parallel mode, their multi-head mode, which kind of sounds like a tape echo, a short and a long. I've got the help of an overdrive pedal here just to give some context color, and we can see what it can do. So let's jump on in and have a look. Of course, first of all, I'm playing my Fender Stratocaster. Through our pedals, into the two notes clean and off to the recording system. The dual blue delay does have the ability to run a stereo or a wet and dry output, but I am just running the wet and the dry mix together via its mono output. The DC connection on the side is just 9 volts DC. You can vary it a little bit to get some change in the tonality of the headroom, but for the sake of simplicity and what most people will do, I'm just running it on 9 volts. So first of all, let's turn it on, and I'm going to have the unit in its first mode, which is the short delay. Press this button to get back to long and then short. So the multi-modes you can access via the 2 foot switches. So now we're in short mode. We've got a level, which is the volume of the delayed signal, a tone control, which is our typical high pass, low pass, band pass filter, our repeats, so the number of repeats, and delay is the time, how quick though or slow those delays repeat themselves. So just based on those settings, this is what it sounds like. Reasonably quick drop off. We can of course increase our repeats, like so, or turn them right down to only 1 repeat. If you had a really quick delay time, which we can do by speeding up the delay time here, you get a nice quick slap back. Which is a really quick delay, really great for lots of notes or quick playing with a little bit of overdrive. It's a very fast response. So a great way to add a bit of color to your signal without necessarily muddying it up. Of course, we've also got our tone control. We'll set that kind of medium. We can go from a low tone mix. Might put a few more repeats on that to make it a bit more obvious. A bit more delay. You can hear that high frequency increasing. Usually on an analog delay, which is what this is based on, those high frequencies do degrade rather quickly. So being able to control how much of that you hear is also a really nice way to tighten up the delay response. So we're going from here across to here. The only change is the tone control. So other than being able to affect the repeats, the tone does also kind of get us into that ballpark. Of course, our level goes from no delay to where the delay repeat is louder. It's a little hard to hear, but you can hear it just repeats back a little louder than our dry signal at that maximum setting. And at about 12 o'clock it gets around unity, or it's going to sit just below. So that's the short mode. It does have a shorter delay time than the long time, so you definitely want to use that for those more slap back like sounds. So moving on to the long mode, you simply press the mode button here and it switches short to long. We have the exact same set of controls. We've got our volume, tone, the number of repeats, how long the delay repeats for, and then how fast the delay repeats. Here at say 12 o'clock, this is what it sounds like, where it's a lot slower than the short mode. Let's give that the exact same setting for comparison's sake. Quick, long in the same delay time setting. So we push that all the way out to make it sound the longest. And and it's pretty long again compared to the short, like so. You can speed this one right up where it's almost inaudible. You probably hear it a bit easier if I turn the repeats up. So really cool kind of. But these longer delay times really lend themselves to some great lead sounds. As opposed to the short, so two great flavors of delay to get to from there. So a very quick rundown of those controls. That's the basic settings. We then have two other modes that we have access to. We have a dual mode, which runs both delays together. So it takes your input signal, splits it in two, runs it through both delays in parallel at the same time, and then mixes them together at the output. So you can set different times. They're not going to affect each other. You're not going to get delays upon delays, but you get some pretty cool double sounds. Probably the most famous use of dual delay is, of course, the Edge from U2, and this is the sort of thing that it sounds like. A few more repeats in from each to hear that, and I'm going to slow that delay time down. Put a really quick repeat in and then a really long, slow. I'm going to make that short delay a bit louder. Go to clean so you can kind of hear, so you can hear the bop up from the short delay and then the longer delay occurring right later on. Like so. It's a really great way to create layers, and of course it's a great lead technique where you want a quick loud delay at the start of the note, but as you start to play other notes around it, you want that faster delay to maybe die away so that you're not getting muddy sounds, you're not sounding too complicated. And by having that long delay available as well, you really get that more ambient, more prog or rock kind of sound. So moving on to the multi-head mode. The multi-head mode is based on a tape machine. Now, if you haven't used a tape machine before, and being a vintage piece of gear, there would be a lot of people who haven't, the idea is that you can play back your recorded sound from multiple points, which gives you a stacked set of delays. So you can have a short, a medium, a slightly longer, and then a long sound together, and it really allows you to create some spacious and really cool ambient sounds. You would typically see a tape delay being used more like a reverb because you can get such great ambient tones. The dual blue delay gets us into multi-head mode by holding the power button down, or the bypass button down rather, and you can see our LEDs are now bouncing between short and long settings. So it sounds a bit like this. And you can hear those delays cascading upon each other. I am just going to pull that repeat back a little bit and stop it from oscillating. So pretty cool rhythm sounds. As opposed to just a uniform repeat rate, you get that odd rhythm playing behind you, and it allows you to play a bit more sparsely but still have some cool sounds going on. Sounds great with lead sounds as well. course, because we can blend them together, if we add a few more of those short repeats in, make that a bit louder. We can turn our tone up to hear a bit more of those brighter tails. So you get some pretty great repeats and delay settings that really mix together nicely. So you can hear that reverb-like sound coming through there. But basically, that's the 4 modes that the dual blue delay does. If you were to just buy the single deep blue delay pedal, of course you can't stack it quite the same as this. You would need a third pedal to be able to mix them in a dual mode. You could definitely put 2 delays next to each other and get a multi-head-like sound, but having them in the one package is pretty cool. Before I had played too much with the dual blue delay, I thought it sounded good, but I wasn't totally sold. And then after really exploring the 2 different modes, I was really blown away, because for a pedal it doesn't have any presets or any menu system to be able to have those 4 different settings. Makes it pretty versatile. If that prevents you from having to buy a unit that has an LCD screen like the Strymon Timeline or the DD500 from Boss or the Empress Echo system, it's a great way to give you that hands-on approach that we love about analog pedals, but the multiple sounds you can access for the versatility of something that would be a multi-effects delay, again, like the Strymon Timeline. So there you have it. That's my quick run through of the dual blue delay. It has some great features. The 4 functions are really useful, and it also has a tap tempo feature, which I didn't show you, but basically all you do is just tap the button in. You do have to tap less than 800 milliseconds apart to get it to access that tap tempo, but just one more feature to add on to the delay that makes it a really professional unit. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to check out our social media. Give us a thumbs up, a like, a comment. We do appreciate the feedback. If you want to pick one of these bad boys up for yourself, you can follow the link below to do so. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.